Hello and what is up, guys? My name is YUGIOH from SCREENCASTERS, coming to you now a deck profile variant of my Odd Eyes Magicians. This is called Draco-Magicians or draco-gicians, however you want to say it. This basically uses the Magician Pendulum engine with the Draco Slayers and the Draco Overlord and stuff like that. It's a nice variant on the original Magicians. Honestly, I prefer pure Magicians. But this is a nice build I'm testing out, and it's doing pretty well in playtesting. It has a higher ceiling and a lot more things you could do in a turn than the traditional Magicians can do. However, it's a lot less consistent than a pure, so that's something. Like, you can do more stuff, but you're more easily stopped and you are more prone to bricking. So, you know, I've been talking for a little bit too long. Let's get started with the draco-gicians deck profile. Woo! 3 Wisdom Eye, basically the only Magician we play 3 of now, because he's a level 4, he's also a 5 scale, so you don't even have to pop him most of the time. But what makes the Magician so useful is that they always have scales, and they have scale protection in terms of the pendulum calls. So if you have the Magician, you basically always have a pendulum scale, and this guy switches them all out. Hope he doesn't go to 1 with the ban list, you know. We do 2 Dragon Pit and 2 Dragon Pulse. Pulse is very useful because he's also level 4 and a level 1. Basically, if you have the Luster Pendulum in your pendulum zone, if you have either of these guys, it's alright. We prefer to have the Pulse though, because even though Pit's like a better scale in general, like he's higher and he can destroy back row, this guy can mean you can break out your level 4s because Luster Pendulum is a scale 5. But yeah, just get rid of back row, and this one gets rid of monsters. It's great spot removal. Great pendulum guys, and you basically, as long as you got these guys in your scales, they really kind of are in control of the duel. It's basically your resource flow of the deck. Last of the actual Magicians, we do 2 Oath. He's not as good now in this build of the deck because he's level 6, but he's really good as your second scale other than your Pulse to go with your Pit. But you can bring him out if Pit's in your scale and this guy's in your hand or something. He's basically a recursion too if any of these guys get MST'd or you discard him with Pendulum Call or something like that. If he gets normal Spectral Summon, they come back, so he's good for recursion if anything happens to them. Well, if they get MST, they go with extra deck, but if someone gets negated or anything, if anything goes bad, this guy can really help you. Alright, so that's it for the Magician engine. Really small because they're not the focus of the deck, but they are basically your main source of scales. I'm doing the 2-2-1 ratio, 2 Master Pendulum, 2 Vector, and 1 Luster. Luster is at 1, that's why. I'm thinking about 3 Master Pendulum solely because you always want to have 1 in deck to bring back with Ignister. But, you know, also I like Vector at 2. I was trying out 3 of him and 3 of him with Rescue Rabbit, but that didn't do well at all. I was also thinking about having 3 Pulse and, like, you know, 3 Master Pendulum for Rabbit and stuff, but that was beyond inconsistent. But this guy's really good at 2. They're both good at 2. Basically, you always want to have a Vector in your deck because if you don't have them, you can't really use your Draco face-up because it says 1 Draco Slayer, 1 Draco Overlord, and since he's the only one we have at the moment right now in the main deck because we don't have the Reactor dude, the other one, so yeah, basically you always want to have one of him in your deck as well. So I'm playing with the ratios right now, but right now 2-2-1 is doing well. They're basically your main source for everything in the deck, whether it be your rank 4s, whether it be your Ignister plays, or your Dynastra Powerful plays. So they're really good in general, really good cards for the deck. So that's the 2 engines. For the 1 of Pendulum guys, you do 1 Joker, 1 Archfiend Eccentric. I still love Archfiend, it's amazing. The fact it's also a scale 7 means you can bring them out, bring out your guys. You can also bring out the Oath Dragon with her, you know, she's level 6. So she's a good high skill in case you need her. But the fact she can also pop back row in the Pendulum Zone, and as a monster she pops monsters. It's just a really good card in general. I still fucking love this card. I want to find a way to put multiples, but you know, one's pretty good right now. It's, Joker searches out basically your inside or any missing scale you need to get a hold of. So that's it for the Pendulum monsters. On for the actual, you know, other engine. We're doing the Dark engine. I don't run any Draco Pals, just doing the Dracos. So 1 Arm Knight, I can't find a way to fit 2. 1 Zephyros, 1 Shadala Dragon, and 1 Tuning Magician. Tuning Magician is basically there for your Trishula plays, and it's good discard fodder. I'm still going back and forth between Tuning and Noble Dragon in any of my Magician builds, because Noble Dragon has an effect, basically, since it's a Pendulum monster, you can discard it with Pit, and then if you start to summon Oath, you can snag it back, so you kind of loop with that. But Tuning Magician has some synergy because the level 1 tuner, it has more than, you know, level 3 synergy. Anyway, but it's really good, especially if you can dump it with Arm Knight. Zephyros is basically MVP because you can bounce your scales, bounce luster, or whatever you don't want there to put in something different. He's really good. He's also level 4, you know, pretty good, and good discard fodder. Dragon, if you dump them with Arm Knight, you pop back row. Basically, these guys also lead to your Evil Swarm Nightmare plays, so yeah, that's pretty good. I do like these guys. That's it for the main deck. Monsters, pretty decent. So basically the engines are the Magician engine, the Draco engine, and the Dark engine. So there's that. Now for the spells. 3 Upstart Goblin for that consistency. The whole reason we're playing the Magicians is because of this card. It searches out basically your Pendulum Scale, and it makes it unbreakable unless they Castell it or Ignister or stuff like that. But it's really good. It keeps your scale alive, makes it impervious to most things. It's basically your main resource flow. It's the reason you play Magicians with the Dracos, because the Dracos already generate enough advantage, but the problem is you don't really have much scales, and Magicians fill that void, so that's pretty good. 3 Wavering Eyes because it's a Pendulum deck. It searches everything, you know. And also proxying 1 card because I cannot find another copy of it in my commons. I'm doing 3 face-off. You could try and get away with 2, but you always want to open with this. Every time I've opened with this card or Pendulum Call, I won the duel. So, you know, this card is just insanely broken. I wouldn't be surprised if it got limited because it's a free special summon or a scale. It searches from deck, and you always go plus with this card. It's just insane. So that's pretty good. 3 Instant Fusion because Norden. Yeah, you guys go to the extra deck where they get destroyed, but for the Dark engine of the deck, these guys are going to be in your graveyard, so Norden can bring them back and stuff. 2 Twin Twister. Oh, also, Instant Fusion is basically another play you can make. It basically adds on so you're still doing stuff, you're not stuck in a rut, so it makes your bad hands better. Anyway, Twin Twister, if you're going against Rogue, I'm basically aiming this deck towards every deck, not just the meta. This also pops scales, but also pops that pesky back row that Pit can't really hit, like Solemn Scolding and Warning and Quaking Mirror Force and Mistake, and that's a spell fragrance. Yeah. If this was already said or something, I don't know. But it's really good. I like this card. Perfect against Rogue. 1 Unexpected Die can special summon your Pulse, your Master Pendulum, your Vector Pendulum. Very useful. I only do 1 because I don't want to draw multiples, as well as drawing into this mid to late game is kind of bad because you can't really use it because you typically have a monster. 1 Lord Darkness, you run a lot of draws. It's kind of self-explanatory. If you draw into your Shell Dragon, just dump it with this. And 1 Rhoda. The reason I don't run 2 Arm Knights because of Rhoda. It's just better. So yeah, that's it for the main deck. Pretty self-explanatory, most of the stuff. Pretty standard. You know, stuff like that. For the extra deck, 2 Ignister because I can't find room for 3. This card is amazing. It special summons the guy from your deck for free. You spin stuff back. You pop even your opponent's scale to spin stuff back. It's amazing. I love this guy. Worst case scenario, if you just Fiendish Chain, you guys overlay him to make Felgrand. And I love Felgrand, so he's a great beater, amazing, and he does not target. Only other synchro I run is 1 Trishula, solely because of Tuning Magician, and Trishula wins games by himself. For the fusions, we do 1 Dinosaur. Can't fit room for 2 because I'm doing so many freaking engines in this deck, but it's really good. Brings back the guys. If you discard a Master Pendulum for Pendulum Call, you make this guy, make him come back, and just stuff. The fact that you can contact Fuse for this makes it even better, and a 2950 booty that protects your scales and monsters is pretty good as well. 2 Nordens because you don't need 3, and you run Instant Fusion. For XYZs, you do 1 Nightmare, 1 Key Beetle. Key Beetle is very useful for protecting your scales. Nightmare for the mirror match and stuff. 1 Diamond Crag King for a good beater and defender. Abyss Dweller for Burning Abyss. Diamond Dyer. Basically, I overlaid the Zephyros and Arm Knight to this guy, pop himself, pop something else, and clear out my board for even more stuff to Pendulum back from the extra deck. Very useful. In case I have 2 Pendulum monsters or something, I make Castell instead. If I want a beater or something. If I want to have more room on my field, I make Diamond Dyer. If I'm pushing for game and I have like a free slot, I make Castell to shuffle things back. Really good. 1 Trapeze Magician. You can make them with the Insight stuff and Dragon Pulse. It's still really useful, at least the more TKs. 1 Magister Paladin, because you can special summon the guys, and you do so many loops with this, and Dinosaur and Ignister, just, oh my god, it's so good. And the fact that when you bring them out immediately, you get to search for any Pendulum monster from your deck to your hand during end phase is damn good. And 1 Felgrand, because just in case anything happens, if you don't know TK them, you got Dinosaur, you got Ignister, the level 8s, Felgrand wins games by himself just by being there, you know, after they already had their resources. Felgrand's there to go in for the kill next turn, you know. So yeah, that is the deck profile. This is the deck known as Draco-Magicians. I hope you guys enjoy it. It's a really fun deck. I've grown to really enjoy it. I do prefer pure, but this deck is has a higher ceiling. You can do a lot more stuff with it. So I highly recommend it if you want to try something new. It's a nice variant. I will be doing a deck profile of my pure magicians very soon, so look forward to that. Any comment suggestions on why I didn't run this or why I didn't run that, just comment down below. I'll be answering you guys as I usually do. So once again, my name is YUGIOH from Screencasters. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like the video, comment the video, and subscribe to my channel, which is Screencasters, for more epic and amazing videos similar to this one. Once again, my name is YUGIOH from Screencasters, and I am signing out. See you guys.